Good afternoon, Professor Michael. This is Muhammad Adel Hanbali, and this is my presentation for the final project related to the HR management simulation. So this is the outline for my presentation. I'll start with a small introduction, then I will move on to the goals and the results achieved, the discussion about the results, and finally some final thoughts. So before making the first decision, we were asked to choose a name for our company. I chose to name it blue because I thought that it is a happy color, a color that you are comfortable looking at, and this is exactly what I want my employees to be happy and comfortable in order for them to be able to be more productive and reach the strategic goals. I will follow a differentiation strategy where I aim to provide high quality products to my client in order, in addition to high quality service and support provided by the employees to the client. And this is only possible by putting heavy focus and investing in my employees in terms of well educating them and training them and giving them good wages and benefits, which I consider to be very important for them to stay motivated. So the goals and the results in the simulation booklet, it is mentioned on page 21. The CEO of your company has high expectation as you start your new position and is looking for improvement in a number of key areas, such as higher quality and moral, lower turnover and accident rates, and a more cost-efficient operation overall. So in addition to these indicators, I also have goals in terms of demographics, having demographic close to labor force and community, that is the percentage of female workers and minority workers, also a lower absenteeism, lower grievances, and higher productivity. This is the performance report that we get at the end of each quarter, and this is in specific the report that the first report before I started making any decision. Those were the scores of each of the indicators. We have them here. So my goal is to decrease absenteeism, decrease turnover, increase moral, decrease grievance, decrease accident rates, increase productivity and quality, and decrease labor cost per unit. Here is the results. I will go into details into each of the indicators, but this is the final report I got at the end of the last decision. I ended with a turnover rate of 7.7% and absenteeism of 275, moral of 85, grievances of 16, accident rate 218, productivity 224, quality 71, labor cost per unit 68%, and female percentage, which increased to 17.9%, and minorities increased to 12.9. You can see that we started with 12.7 for females and ended with 17.9. We started with 7.8% minorities and ended with 12.9. So the discussion where I will go into details with almost all the indicators of the final report. We have moral, which I considered one of the most important indicator because it is directly related to the turnover and the productivity of the employees. When employees have good moral, high moral, they are more productive, they are happy and comfortable with their work. So how did I succeed in going from 50 to 85? Let's see how. So it's mentioned in the booklet that some manager at the firm have mentioned one of or more of the following as possible causes of the low moral: the lack of performance formal performance appraisal program, wages, rates, and employee benefits lower than local equivalents, the lack of grievance procedure, and poor training. So what I did concerning these factors is the following. Concerning the performance appraisal program, I activated it on the third quarter of the first year and kept it till the last decision. The grievance procedure was activated on the second quarter of the first year and kept till the last decision. The wages, rate, and employee benefits and the training, which, as I mentioned previously, are part of my differentiation strategy, where I put heavy focus on them for the employees to be productive and to be able to provide high quality to the clients. Here in the wages, rates, and employee benefits, I allocated 40% of my yearly budget in the first, second, and third year, whereas in the training, I allocated 22% of the budget in the first year and 35% of the budget in the second and third year. I would like to go into to comment on the wages, rate, and employee benefits. As you can see here, I included either either an increase in wages or an additional employee benefits in every single quarter. And also what is very important and affects morality is really responding to the employees' needs and supporting them. And this is what I did in the ninth decision with the incident 9, where the employee of level 1 were asking an increase of $600. I didn't negotiate and give them this $600 increase in wages, and this had a big impact on my increase in moral. Also, part of responding to employee needs and supporting them, mainly incident 6 and incident 7. Incident 6 about the compensation plan, where I choose to give them profit share and gain sharing, and in the newsletter of the following quarter it was mentioned that exploring a profit sharing plan was a good idea. Incident 7 was about the employee health assistant and welfare. I didn't ignore this issue, and I offered a workshop on job burnout, which costed me $4,000. And in the next newsletter, it was stated that my concern for stress is to be commended due to the increasing job stress found in today's job. So all of this responding to the employee needs, including wages, benefits, and including employee benefit and increasing wages in all quarters, in addition to the performance appraisal program and the grievance procedure and the heavy focus on training, all led to this beautiful increase in the moral from 50 to 85. Now, the turnover rate, we see that the trend is decreasing. I started with 9.8% and ended with 7.7%, which is good, but it could have been better, especially that there was an increase in the turnover rate here after decision 6. We saw that there was an increase in the turnover rate. The absenteeism, which also showed very good results, it dropped from 498 to 275, which is a drop of approximately 45%, a big achievement. And this is, I consider it also related directly to moral and it can affect productivity. So here we have the productivity, which jumped from 200 to 224 at the end of the last decision. And it is mentioned in the booklet that also, although industry-wide figures are not available, it is felt that improvement of 10 to 20% can be made. And this is what happened. We jumped from 200 to 224, which is more than 10% improvement. I had a drop at the end of the at the end of the decisions, because I was understaffed at the beginning of year 3, which I thought that being understaffed is okay as long as I am providing good wages and benefits and training my employees, so my understaffed employee can perform the job. But really, I had a decrease in the productivity at the end. The grievances, which decreased from 31 to 16%, that is a drop of approximately 50%, and it is very logical because I enabled the grievance program after the second quarter and kept it till the last decision. Accident rate and safety spending are directly related. I just want to comment on the last couple results where I had an increase in the accident rate from 188 to 239, which I think that it was because I decreased my spending at the end, and that is because, as I mentioned before, I was understaffed at the end, and I was a bit out of control in terms of the cost label. We will see it later. It was increasing very much, so I had to decrease my spending here in order to put it in the staffing spending to try to take control of the situation. The quality was increased from 50 to 71, directly related to the quality spending. Again, here at the end, I chose to reduce my spending in order to have more money to allocate it for staffing. And also I realized that I reached a point where the quality is not increasing as much as I am increasing the spending. So it's a point of diminishing return. This is another reason where I chose to cut my spending here. The labor cost, which was the thing that really didn't work out with me, it was increasing, and this is mainly because I chose to be sometimes understaffed. So the overtime cost led to an increase in the overall labor cost. So final thoughts: what did work, what didn't work, what I have learned. First of all, self-evaluation. Overall, I consider that I did a good job, an acceptable job. The indicators that I wanted to increase, most of the indicators that I wanted to increased, like the moral, the productivity, the quality, and the indicators that I wanted to decreased, like the accident rate, the grievance. So overall, it was a good job. What I learned, really, it was, first of all, it was fun really to work with the simulation. And at the same time, it really depicts a real life situation where I learned budgeting, the management of budget, and sometimes I needed to change my budget and my allocation when I encountered unexpected results. So it really, I really learned that we can always face unexpected results. What didn't work was really the labor cost, mainly, that was increasing. And what worked was all the other indicators. Overall, I consider it to be a good experience. I learned a lot from it, and yeah, basically that was it. Thank you for taking your time watching my presentation. I hope it was clear, and thank you again.